everyone. Welcome back to JP's Budget Collecting and our weekly cash or trash, where we look at the hot comics of this past week and make predictions sure to go wrong. And by we, I was meaning myself and my man Marcus. Circumstances. What is going on? Is that a Lion-Eye sweatshirt?
Representing. That's right.
That
I'm from Illinois.
Kansas fan, so I
you didn't know this? I'm from Illinois. I'm from a lot of places, but I'm also from Illinois. Shout out to the homies from Belleville, Illinois, East St. Louis.
Okay, I don't think I knew this. I don't think I had seen the a lot. So you're just cheer for whoever then, basically. You don't.
Yeah, I went to 2 years. I had 2 years of high school in Illinois and 2 years of high school in Kansas.
Okay. I see. I guess that's okay. That's acceptable. We have my man GT Key in here tailgating early, as was Gordon. What's going on? Monty Ray, how about them Chiefs? That's right. They're playing better. Little go Mariners. Yes, I'm rooting for the Mariners tonight. It was 2-1 before I turned it off here, just before we started.
I was going to bet on them, but then I checked it out.
Deep House, what is going on? Ready to go. Ready to set some comics on fire. I like it. Gordon is back. So, yeah, we are ready to go. This is my video where Saturdays I do the look back. We look back at the hot comics from 6 months ago and see how they're doing in the market 6 months later. Should you have bought in? Should you have been patient? This is a video where we look at the hot comics of this past week and make predictions sure to go wrong. I will warn everyone that I got up this morning before I went to work and I watched Tom's video and I wrote up my little information and downloaded all the pictures. And then tonight, I never looked at it again because CBSI had not ever posted their list for this week that normally they post on Fridays. I looked just a minute ago, and they had posted it. So we might circle back to a couple of those books when we get to the end. But we're going to start with just the Tom list. It looks like there's a bunch of overlap, so it doesn't look like we're going to miss all that much. But yeah, Marcus, how's it going, man? Before we get into this,
we got some West Coast Avengers love this week, so I'm excited. Let's do it.
All right, well, let's dig in here. Let's see what we got. Make us a little bigger. First up, we got Mark Spears' Monsters, The Monster and the Wolf blind bag. Now, my understanding is every issue of this was blind bag. You couldn't get this without doing the blind bag. And then according to at least Tom and them, there were 90 covers potentially that you could get in this thing. So yeah, the blind bags themselves are still only going for $6 to $10. I did look this morning at what the recent sales were, where the sales number is at. But we're talking a print run of like 350,000 with 90 different versions of things you can get in here. It does look like a few of the covers have taken off. Most of them are going for basically this. Your thoughts on this blind bag we got going here, Marcus?
I have mixed feelings on it because on one hand, comic books are getting sold. 350,000 print run is a very large print run in this day and age. So that's crazy. That's a lot of people buying it. I've seen a lot of hype, a lot of people sharing their unboxing. So I get the excitement around that, but I also it's kind of gross to me because number one is the element of gambling to it, right? And then there's the element.
You think gambling is gross?
No. I mean, a lot of the people buying these blind bags like to judge me for my gambling, but I feel like my sports gambling is way better. But to each their own, right? But then there's also the problem of this is the 90s. This is like a 90s boom level book with this print count. A lot of people are buying not one copy for themselves or not a copy for them and their friends. They're buying 10 copies for themselves, which inflates a print one like crazy because everybody thinks they're going to get rich off of it. So this, I have it, it's worth it because we're still sitting at, cover price. So fine, have your fun. But if you think you're not any different from these guys buying 10 copies of The Death of Superman, thinking they're going to get rich, you're not going to get rich off of this book. This is because what do you do when you have the last thing I'll say?
It's worth it because it's still going for $6 to $10, which is basically what the list price is $6. So
the last thing I'll say about it is, what do you do when you have a shrinking customer base? You milk that base and you get
milk
them
for as many pennies as you can get, buddy.
you get them to buy more of the same thing. So why would I sell you one copy of this book when I can get you to buy 10 copies of the same exact book?
Well, yeah, I mean, this is a huge money grab by KeenSpot. Like, they have one book that makes them money, and it's Mark Spears Monsters, or that's made them money over the last year, and they were like, oh, we're going to start a new series, and we're going to basically try to sell a crap ton. Even at 90 different covers, most of them are going to be worthless because there's 350,000. Now, there's going to be a few, and if you're lucky, you might get the blind bag that has a few, but I would expect with 350,000 of these floating around, the blind bags themselves are going to be, they may hold their, I'm not even sure. I put worth it at 6 to 10. They may not even be that, I'll be honest. I think that might be overly optimistic. I think they'll probably hold close to that just because there's probably going to be like a couple of covers in there that are going to be worth like $150 or $200 because they're super rare. And people are going to be like still willing to pay the 5 to 10. But that's just me.
Yeah, I don't know I mean, it's fun and exciting, but I think the part that's gross about it for me is I know a lot of these people are gambling buying these 10 copies, and that's exactly what sunk us in the 90s, guys.
Yeah. No, I don't think it's, I don't like this. I don't like them doing this. I would have been fine if they would have sold like, hey, we're going to do an A, B, C in a blind bag that's going to have that you could get like 10 different potential things in, or do something like that where it was a little more realistic instead of 350,000 blind bags. Just seems,
Well, I have no criticism for KeenSpot whatsoever.
Oh, they're making money. They're making money.
Yeah, they're getting the bag. My criticism is for the buyers who are not learning any lessons from, like I said, the guys who bought 20 copies of The Death of Superman. Yeah. Learn lessons from that and understand that this is not any different in any way, shape, or form.
No. All right. Anything else on this before we move on?
That's it.
All right. Next,
done yelling at that cloud.
What?
I said I'm done yelling at that cloud. Let's go on.
There you go. We got Absolute Batman number 13. First full appearance of the Absolute Catwoman. First appearance of Absolute Harley Quinn. Only going for 5 to 10 right now. And most of the covers are going for 5 to 10. This is the main A cover. This is also the 1 in 25 is this cover with just a limited trade dress. The 1 in 50 is this cover with no trade dress. But yeah, $5 to $10 here. I put this as worth it just because almost everything Absolute Batman's been worth it. Although I would guess this one got ordered pretty high, but all of them have been ordered high, and people are still paying $10+ for them, $10 to $20 for most of the issues now here, months later. Your thoughts, Marcus?
We were talking about this book today in Discord, and kind of, I was talking with John, who loves this book. So,
John hates everything Scott Snyder, but yes.
Yeah. Well, I was making the point. I was like, is this for the kids like Rob Liefeld was for us in the 90s, and we're just missing it? Because I kind of think this book is silly myself, too. So is it potentially that kids are the ones driving this, or is it just old people speculating? I'm curious about the truth of that. I don't know the answer. But either way, worth it.
I mean,
did you ever
5 to 10, so that's where I'm at on worth it. But yeah.
I will say, thinking about the first time Absolute Batman number 1 jumped on, would you have ever thought that it would have maintained the value it has since that first appearance? It's crazy.
Because of the way Ultimate Spider-Man was going, I thought it might maintain, but the fact that like later issues are still going for money, like are going for like $15, $20, that stuns me way more than that the first issue has continued to maintain a value.
I feel like there's something to this book that I don't understand. That
I don't get it. I did not. What little bit I've read of it, I did not like at all. And then I've heard people describe what's going on in the book, and I'm like, yeah, that seems like more of what I didn't like. So I don't get it. So, but somebody likes it because they're ordering it. I mean, it's like the highest selling book almost every month. So
I'd keep it going. I'll sell my whole collection in once we hit the right price.
There you go. All right, next we're going to move on. We got a little bit. Oh, I don't know if I said this to the chat or not, but when I did this, I had not seen
did say it.
Did I say that we didn't?
Yeah,
that this
you
is
did
just the
say
Tom list at the moment?
Yes.
And not the
yes.
Okay, I
said
don't
it.
remember. I said it to you. I couldn't remember if I said it to the chat.
You said it
anyway.
To them too. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but I'm pretty sure you said it at the beginning.
Okay, so we got X Factor number 6, first full appearance of Apocalypse, and this is hitting the list because we already knew this, but we got confirmation that Apocalypse is going to be the big bad for season 2 of X-Men 97. I didn't feel like this was new information, but anyway, we got confirmation at NYCC. Raw copies averaging around $50, 9.8 going for 260, which is not that much different. It's up a little bit from where this book normally sits, but not crazy higher. Your thoughts, Marcus?
Yeah, I'll be back for sure. I don't know that X-Men 97 or the cartoon can really drive a book like that. So I'm skeptical.
Yeah, season 1 drove some books for a few months, but by the time we got to the 6th month, all the like villain and all that kind of, most of those books were back down to where they were before. Like,
yeah,
So yeah, I don't see that. I mean, Apocalypse is an important X-Men villain. The book has obvious value. This is not going to change that value, in my opinion. So yeah, I would call this back.
I think it'll. That said, how much time do we have till season 2? I do think we might see a bump. We might see a bump up. You might see a bump up until it comes out. Actually,
yeah, that could be.
So
but if you're wanting this book and you've just never gotten it, I would wait till it comes and goes at this point.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, next. We got a book that Marcus despises everything about. He just can't. I guess I'll just let him unmute it. Maybe I should mute him again this week so he doesn't have to talk about West Coast Avengers. I know he doesn't like that series at all. West Coast Avengers, number 45, first appearance of White Vision. Apparently, there was a Vision Quest trailer shown at NYCC. It has not been released to the public yet, causing this book to hit the list again. $40, 9.8, 250. A reminder that when WandaVision came out, this book was pushing $1,500 for 9.8. This is one of the ones I said at the time was one of the worst things I'd ever seen on the list. 250 seems a little more reasonable, but that seems a little more reasonable. Your thoughts, Marcus?
I love this book. I'm excited. And if you compare it to the COVID prices, this is a rock bottom steal, right? At these prices.
Well, I do think prices were stupid.
Yeah. I do think it could get quite a bit of a bump from this Vision Quest story. I think it's going to be pretty cool. I'm excited for it. I do think it will come back down just like it did after WandaVision. As someone who was collecting West Coast Avengers, this was one of the last 2 books that I needed, and I knew that I didn't want to overpay because I knew the prices were insane. I think that.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, and I think it's true now. It's not too crazy right now, but I do think 6 months from now, this book's probably going to be up a bit. So it's probably worth it at this point.
Yeah, it's probably on the 6-month thing worth it. I put it as an I'll be back because at this point, if you didn't buy it during this huge lull between WandaVision and now, I wouldn't buy it until after the show is come and gone. You know what I mean? Like at this point, like until the show comes out, it's probably it's probably gonna bump a little bit from here, I would guess. So yeah, but I would guess year and a half from now, it's probably gonna be back to what it was before this little bump. So absolutely. that's just where I'm at on this. So next, we did get a trailer at NYCC and for the rest of us for Wonder Man finally. That's supposed to be coming out in January now. So Avengers number 9, first appearance Wonder Man hitting the list. Raw copies 40 to 250 on recent sales, a 5.0 at 250, a 7.0 at 500. Your thoughts on Wonder Man, Marcus?
This is a get in where you fit in. I actually want this book, and as a West Coast Avengers fan, I love the love between Scarlet and Vision, but I also love the love between Wonder Man and Scarlet Witch, because Wonder Man has Vision's brainwave, so he has that same love for Scarlet. And I always loved that story. So I want, this is I wish I had this book, but get in where you fit on this one. If you can find this book, you're willing to pay it, go for it, get it. Great book.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about a single-digit Silver Age Avengers. I mean, this is a book that I would probably not. This is a get in where you fit in, but I would probably not buy it around the show. Like if you've waited this long to get it, I would probably wait till the show comes and goes. I would guess, based on recent history, that there's probably a chance that a few months after this show comes out, that this book will be more affordable than it's been in a long time. This would be my guess. And now maybe the show is a hit and that it goes the opposite way and it doesn't come down, but I don't think it's going to jump tremendously either. So yeah, I would be patient with this book for sure. So, all right, next. Unless you had something else on Wonder Man.
No, that's it. Yeah, no, go okay. West Coast.
Next, we got Batman number 492, the start of the Nightfall storyline. This is the first issue of the Nightfall storyline. And this is hitting the list because there's going to be a Nightfall animated series of movies. Basically, they're going to, over a couple of animated movies, they're going to tell the Nightfall story, kind of like they did with, was it Dark Knight Returns had like 2, and like they've done that a couple of different times with stories when they've done these animated movies. So that's what they're going to do here. I think the Death of Superman had like a couple of different animated movies. Going for $3 here. I just put this as an I'll be back because it's like, why would you chase this one? It does look like there is another version on this, and I did look long enough, and we'll talk about it in a minute when we switch over there. It does look like the platinum version of this is on the CBSI list. We'll talk about that then. But for just this regular version, at $3, it's whatever. I mean, you can find this in back issue bins all day long. So go ahead, Marcus.
Nothing to add. Whatever for me. Who cares?
Yeah, I mean, this is it's a whatever. Find this in back issue bins. Don't like try to chase it for money.
I will say that there was a Batman series on Prime recently. I forget what it was called, but Penguin was like a woman or something. And remember, people.
Oh, that animated thing, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It was actually good. If anybody hasn't watched it, I thought it was really good. It's worth checking.
Yeah, it was a little different. I've never went through and watched it. I keep saying I'm going to, like the 900 other TV shows that I say I'm going to watch.
I love the whole vibe of it, man. It was a great vibe.
Okay, I'll have to. I've heard that from a few people. I've just never gotten back to it. All right, next we got Forever People number 2, the first appearance of Desaad, one of Darkseid's henchmen from Apocalypse, and basically some spoilers here for if you haven't seen the end of Peacemaker season 2 yet. Basically, so a little bit of spoilers here. Basically, at the end of the show, we get introduced to the planet Salvation, which is like a prison planet for metas, both in the comics and apparently in the show. And at least in the comics, Salvation is run by Desaad. So that is where this is tying into. I haven't seen the finale, so I don't have any spoilers here. I don't believe Desaad actually showed up, but that's where this is coming from. Raw copies 50. Only recent slab sale was a 9.2 at 75. Any thoughts on this one, Marcus?
Yeah, this is kind of a get in where you fit in. I mean, this is 71 book, classic DC Jack Kirby stuff. So you're probably right in saying I'll be back. But for me, this would be a get in where you fit in. 15 center, man.
I mean, it's a pretty affordable book. So raw copies at 50 seems a little high, but it's also from 1971, so maybe not.
High quality grade. That's not a bad price if you got a high grade.
All right, next we got back on the list. We got New Teen Titans Annual number 2, first appearance of Vigilante. Finally been season 2. Love the continuity. There you go. See, D-Boss and you were people that liked it. I know lots of people did not like the finale, but you guys did.
I don't know. I don't understand those people. I love it, man. I'm so excited.
So, first appearance of Vigilante. When this was on the list a couple weeks ago, during the show, we were at $15 average on Raws, 9.8, 170. Now it's Raws are up to around 30, 9.8, 150 to 170. Still putting this as an I'll be back. Show is gone. In a few months, this book will kind of return to what it normally is, and then we'll go back. Is what I think. What do you think, Marcus?
I think that this is a cool book to own. It's a great George Perez cover. Rest in peace to that. I think the character's a great character. The actor's playing him. I think he has a bright future in the James Gunn DCU if we get to keep it. So I think there's real spec value to this book. But you got time to it. This is a $10 book. I wouldn't pay more than that. I would wait until you got it for that.
That's where I'm at. I would just be patient with this. Get away from the season, and then you'll be able to find some better deals. So next, we have Salvation Run #1, which is the first appearance of that prison planet we just talked about with the sod. It was on the list last week at like 5 to 12, but this week it's still mostly like 5 to 12, but there are a few sales pushing up toward $20. But yeah, like when does a planet or anything like that really mattered, or a potential storyline thing really mattered? Long term, I would just put this as an I'll be back. I mean, I guess if you get it for $5, who cares? But like, I wouldn't be paying 20. So,
yeah, at $20. At $20, this is a dumpster fire. I would say.
Yeah.
We talked about this before, but the first appearance of a prison planet, it's not going to be a long lasting first appearance that people care about. It's going to be the characters that get the real money, the long lasting money. So running after this one right now with the most hype for it is just crazy. Do not do it. No more than $5 for this book. This is dumpster fire territory if you're paying high end.
Yeah, I get it for sure. And then the last book that was on Tom's list, Action Comics 598. That was also on the list last week at 5 to 20, 9.8, 160. This week it's 6 to 20, 9.8, 175. So a little bump on the 9.8. But yeah, first appearance of the organization Checkmate, which is the name, spoilers, that they take on at the end of the series. Your thoughts on this one, Marcus?
I want this book. I really want this book. In 6 months, I'm going ham. When JP posts this book in his 6 months look back, I'm going to be paying very close attention. I'm going to pay close attention to the answer. And if it's $3 book, I'm going to go out and buy 20 of these because I love Peacemaker. I love how both seasons have gone. I think season 2 is exponentially better than season 1, though. And I'm excited for the future of what they've built in that show. So I want this book 100%, but I wouldn't pay these prices. I'd be patient.
All right, so those are the 10 books that were on Tom's list. I'm going to remove this, but before we go, I'm going to stop that share. And then we're going to try this again. So yeah, for anybody that hopped in late, I did this morning where I pulled it together. CBSI still had not posted their list for last Friday as of this morning on the website. It is posted now, and I didn't go back and look tonight before the show, but I looked like right before the show. So I'm just going to let's share screen here, and let's go to the window. Yeah, and we're just going to put this on here and see if what we got. I haven't even really looked at this yet. Okay. It made it bigger than we are, so let's make us a little smaller. All right. So I noticed there's a lot of overlap. Let's just go to the top. Hedge Knight, which was on the list last week. What was the values on Hedge Knight last week? Let's see. They're saying it's going for 20 to 40 now. Obviously, we got the trailer for Dunkin' Egg. Is why that's hitting the list. And last week when we talked about it, it was at 25 to 30, so 20 to 40. Basically, just expanded a little bit. Any different thoughts than what we said last week? Which I think you said I'll be back, and I said worth it. But yeah,
I'll be back.
Hedge Knight.
You remember that when that Wild Card book by George R.R. Martin and that got optioned?
Yeah.
And hit this. I just don't feel like these books actually matter. They only matter when they're on the list and then they disappear. And I don't think these two books are any different. I could be
wrong. We got cover B for that same book also hitting the list here. And he didn't even give values. So I don't even know what to say to that. I haven't looked it up, but I would probably focus on the cover A if you were going to do this. But I would probably just wait on this. I mean, even if the show is a bit of a hit, these Game of Thrones comics really aren't worth that much anyway. So if you want this, I would wait on them for both of them. So from that standpoint. Next, it looks like we got a Harley Quinn, Elvira, #1, Savannah Sabina trade foil. I think if I open that, it's going to not show. If I try to open the image. Oh, it's not letting me even open the image. So never mind. And again, he's not even listing values here, and I did not have a chance to look at this, so I don't know what to say about it. It was an NYCC exclusive, I guess. I mean, if you like Sabina, I guess cool, but I would probably be if it's a con exclusive, I would probably be definitely I'll be back to.
Yeah, those Savitas though, those seem to be.
I mean, the Sabina stuff has been doing pretty well. You are correct, but it is very rare for a con exclusive to hold up. So, but you got any other thoughts there?
No, not really.
Hey, Horvath, what's going on? We already talked about X Factor 6. It was on the list. Salvation Run was already was on the Tom list, as was the Monster and Wolf blind bag. Predator is Badlands is continuing to drive interest here. Again, if you don't own the Predator book yet, I'd wait till there's no Predator projects coming out to buy it. It's like the book usually settles back to what it's always worth when there's not a project going on. But Marcus, you got any different thoughts than that on the Predator?
Nothing to add on that. Nothing to add.
No. It looks like, so I did talk about earlier, I did notice that this 492 Platinum variant, so this thing is like, I don't know what the numbers are, but it was super hard to find at the time. Super lower print than just the regular book, which is like a $3 book. They're showing it here for 10 to 30. Because of the animated thing, I would still put this as I'll be back. I would not pay higher than the 10 for this sucker if I was anybody. But your thoughts? You got any different thoughts on that?
Nothing to add on that one either. I agree.
We got Forever People 2 we talked about, and then we have the Absolute Batman 1 in 50 retailer variant. So the 1 in 50 is just the A cover with no trade dress, although this is showing it with, looks like more like the 1 in 25 with the minimal trade dress. This is supposed to be the Virgin, or maybe but anyway, I've been seeing it going for right at or less than ratio, which is not a good sign for a ratio variant. Although these Absolute Batman stuff have continued to hold value, I'm guessing because it looks so much like there's not that much different between the regular, the 1 in 25 and the 1 in 50. I doubt this 1 in 50 has a ton of value, but that's me. You got any thoughts on that one, Marcus?
Yeah, I agree. The fact that you can get the trade dress always kills it, right? We know that.
Yeah. Well, you get the trade dress, or you can get the 1 in 25. Like there's, you can get. So yeah, I have a hard time with that. So those are those books. So I don't know that really added that much. Couple of differences, but not a whole lot different than what we looked at. So we'll get rid of that. I'll have to add those to my spreadsheet before 6 months from now, but otherwise those are in there. Marcus and I didn't mention, but this weekend is the Comics Curing Cancer weekend is coming up. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they got videos going on where you can donate and you can buy and get some really cool comics, some art, all kinds of stuff. Going to be on a bunch of channels. I saw them post. It's all over Instagram, what the schedule is. So check out Comics Curing Cancer on Instagram, and you can find that stuff. Marcus, you got anything to add to that?
No, on Comics Curing Cancer, buy cool stuff and then write it off on your taxes. You can't beat that. Yeah. Don't miss it.
For sure. And then last but not least, we're going to shout out my channel members real quick before I forget. I appreciate all these folks that are channel members for helping me out, helping me cover those StreamYard costs. I really appreciate all of you. A little cheers to you from me and from Tony, as always. And with that, Marcus, you got anything else you want to mention before we get out of here?
Always a good time. Thanks for coming through. To the people watching live, we appreciate you. And shout out to all the people watching on the replay. We always appreciate your comments. So if you want to gripe or agree, definitely comment.
Yes, always appreciate those comments. All right, with that, I'm going to get out of here. Later, everybody. See ya. Maybe.